I could learn something, but I would just forget it anyways. I hear this phrase far too often in today's society. People generally accept the notion that they must actively employ what they learn, or simply forget it. I wrote this program as a way to challenge this notion of forgetfulness. By using algorithms which map the way our brain forgets information, importation features to use books you already own, and a simple-to-use interface, the Shinru Learning System is a powerful tool for self-study. But before I get into the details, let me show you what this program can do real quick. I've been teaching myself PHP, which is a programming language for websites. I want to review the information I have learned, so I click the study button located here. This question is asking me to insert PHP tags. However, I have completely forgotten how to do this. So I click the info button located here, and the exact page from where I learned the material is brought up. The Shinru Learning System remembers the book and exact page from where you learned information and schedules reviews automatically. Before I can go into more detail about the program, I need to talk to you about our memory. The Shinru Learning System is integrated with a spaced repetition system. A spaced repetition system is a tool used to schedule review times for information. As you can see in this graph, when we first learn a piece of information, our memory of it is quite weak. However, as we do reviews over time, our memory strengthens. A spaced repetition system maps the way our brain forgets information and helps keep everything we have learned in place. While there are currently many spaced repetition systems available, they are only useful for learning simple ideas, such as a word in a foreign language. The Shinru Learning System uses the Standard Learning Model to present information. We have been exposed to this model our whole lives, as classes and books employ it almost exclusively. It can be described as simple, linear reading, with chapter questions and review exercises. The main limitation of the Standard Learning Model is a lack of reviewing capacity. As you can see in this picture, the Shinru Learning System integrates these two models to create a hybrid learning model, which allows the memory retention of a spaced repetition system and the flexibility in presenting information of the Standard Learning Model into a single program. But that's enough theory. Here is an example of the Shinru Learning System in action. Here we have a lesson for learning PHP. As you can see, a user can move forward and backward through the lesson, just like reading a book normally. However, after information is presented, questions are asked pertaining to what the user has learned. These questions make sure that the user has properly learned the information. A user continues in this manner through the lesson as information and questions continue to be presented until the lesson is almost completed and a test is presented to them. The test is a more difficult question which asks the user to integrate the concepts they have learned and use them to tackle a more difficult challenge. In this example, the user is being asked to create part of a web page. Once the test has been completed, the questions which were presented to them throughout the lesson are compiled into the spaced repetition system. Reviews are scheduled for the information they have learned, and the user is free to continue on as they please. The lesson is also copied over into the user's database, with all images, books, and pages remaining in their original form. The Shinru Learning System will handle all of the details in regards to making learning more efficient. Here is where I was at the beginning of the video. The following day, the user begins their study session, and the spaced repetition system scans the user's database for any information which needs to be reviewed. Here, a question asking me to insert PHP tags is brought up. As I demonstrated earlier in the video, if I've forgotten how to do this, I simply click the info button located here. I can move forward and backward through the book to review all the information needed to answer the question, and can then hit the SRS button to return to the question. After inputting my answer, I can hit the flip button to check if it is correct. Since I had to review the information to answer correctly, I hit the fail button, which will ask the question again shortly, and the system moves on to a new question. Once all the information has been reviewed, I can then move on to a new lesson, which will continue to add more information to the spaced repetition system. As you can see, the Shinru Learning System is a powerful tool for self-study. The program supports HTML text, images, and PDF documents to display information. A user can mass import a series of images or even an entire book into the Shinru Learning System at once through the use of the mass importation feature. The user can then add questions to the information being presented until they feel it is sufficient to retain the information and can begin their studies. This program is completely free and can be downloaded at myowneducation.com, which has a link on the right side. My name is Chris Swanson, and I hope you seriously consider using the Shinru Learning System as a tool to improve your career.